Minus the entertaining theatrics, your reviews are great because they are very specific and obviously not skewed by brand name one way or the other.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of this show, is bring a product in and give it an actual honest review and help you, the consumer, make a purchasing decision. Is this piece of gear good? Is this piece of gear bad? It's wonderful that I can do that and give it to you straight without any corporate bullshit getting in the way. Yeah, that's the point of this show. If you don't like honesty, go somewhere else. Good morning, everybody! It is Friday and time to get this show on the road. It is time for SMG Viewers Comments, the show that's about you, not about me. And it's also sponsored by Distrokid. We'll have more on that in a few minutes. Anyway, let's get right to it.
Glenn, just wanted to say that your tones are absolutely killer these days. I've been watching for many years, and recently they sound next level. Great job.
Oh, thank you very much. I've kind of been working my tail off on things. It all comes down to the speaker, in my opinion. I've been working with the Hesu Demon cab, which is great. I've got that rev cab with the EVH and hempback blend that really helps out, and I've also got that happy cab that I've been working with the Mototone speakers in there. And again, it's all just kind of has their own thing, and I've learned if you stop trying to compete with the masters out there, with the guys who do the vintage 30 sound really good and kind of find your own thing, it's much easier to get a really great tone.
Why bring in other guitars when the fucking audio engineer shreds harder? Like, goddamn.
Thanks, dude. I've been practicing my ass off just because I can basically speed the show up and get a little bit more free time for myself. So instead of, doing a guitar review and waiting to bring people in to guest on the show and whatnot, I can just play it myself and get it done and move on with the rest of my day. Believe me, though, the whole purpose of me getting better on guitar was not to show off to you guys. It's far more selfish. It's like, I just want a little more free time in the day.
If only more musicians practice as much as Glenn does, you can really tell that it makes a huge difference. Sounds kick-ass.
Well, thank you very much. I'd say that to anybody who wants to pursue anything creative, whether it's doing a YouTube show or getting better on guitar or bass or drums or whatever instrument it is, being a singer, you name it. The only best advice I can give to all you guys out there is be relentless. If there's something you really want to do in life, then do it. Don't do other things. Do the thing you want to do and do it a lot, because eventually you're going to get better. Like, if you want to get good on guitar, don't waste your time playing video games. That's really what it comes down to. Yes, take breaks, especially if you develop pain in your wrists or your forearms or something like that. Sure, take little breaks and whatnot, but make sure that's the focus of your free time, not doing other things like that aren't going to help you get to your goal. If you want to be a good guitar player, then be a guitar player.
I think this just goes to show that, at least today, when you buy Gibson guitars, you are 9 out of 10 times just paying for the name rather than an actual good quality guitar.
That would be my conclusion as well. As long as you're not obsessed with the name on the headstock, something like this is going to be a fantastic instrument and cost you 1/3 the price. I've got absolutely no complaints with this guitar. It plays absolutely amazing, has great hardware, great pickups, great everything, great finish. Somebody actually gave a shit about this guitar before it came out of the factory. Here's another great example of a wonderful high quality guitar, that isn't the quote unquote made in America brand, but geez, was this thing ever absolutely amazing. If you haven't checked out my Fearless Gear review on this guitar, I highly recommend it, because this is awesome, and this just trounces the ever-living shit out of that Gibson Mustaine V that I had on the show a few weeks back.
I caught my ex-wife taking photos of her ID. After asking what she was doing, she proceeded to tell me that she won $500 through Cash App, and they just wanted her ID and $100 for confirmation. I tried telling her it was a scam. She wouldn't listen. Then gets told by her family it's a scam, and she listens. Things didn't work out with her.
Yeah, I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked. Here's the thing, guys. I already did an episode on this, and we've got scammers trolling my channel. They're hitting up a bunch of other channels as well. Congratulations, you won something. Okay, once again, to be extra super special clear, you didn't win anything! If somebody says you want something and they need a couple $100 for shipping fees, that is a scam. I can't say it any more clearly. Stop sending me emails that people are putting this on my show. I fucking know this. And if you're dumb enough to pay somebody to ship you a non-existent prize, yeah, guess what? You fucking deserved it because you've already been warned several times. Smarten the fuck up.
Someone who plays guitar that badly is not a reliable source of guitar reviews. He obviously hasn't put the hours with the instrument to judge it properly. Not saying that Gibsons haven't become garbage for the money you pay for them. That is true, alright, but much of the criticism praised from this guy is nonsense. Plus, I never hear him say a bad word for Ola England's overpriced garbage guitars that fall apart, for which I would even throw them in a fireplace.
Well, I'm sorry I don't have your expert guitar skills there, Timothy Perez. I'm just barely getting by. From what it's worth, I think this guitar is absolutely phenomenal. It's got great pickups. I love the fan frets. The neck joint's great. There's no flaws in the finish. Yeah, what's not to like? But I guess, according to Timothy, it's not good enough for even firewood. Hey, Timothy, just an idea. Maybe don't look down your nose at things and actually try picking an instrument up before forming an opinion. Just a thought. Alrighty, real quick, this episode of Spectre Sound Studios has once again been sponsored by Distrokid, my favorite online music distribution service, and I've been using it without any issues since 2015. It is the place to get your music online to all the major streaming sites like Apple Music, Amazon, Google Play, and Spotify, plus over 150 smaller online music retailers as well. It costs a whopping $20 a year, and you keep 100% of your earnings. Distrokid also has a ton of cool features, like getting your project more followers on Spotify with Hyperfollow, or change your image on Apple Music and iTunes, plus adding credits and liner notes to stores and streaming services. You can list musicians, contact info, social media profiles, and hundreds of other roles. There's also the synced lyrics feature, so you can have the lyrics play along to your Instagram and Apple Music posts. Seriously, how many times have you listened to a song and wondered, what the hell are they singing? I can't understand anything. Now, what's more, the new splits function works great for those long-distance collaborations that everybody's doing these days. Splits allows you to pay your collaborators automatically by percentage so you can concentrate on making music instead of learning how to be an accountant. You can change up the splits, add or remove collaborators at any time, and your collaborators also get a 50% discount on their own Distrokid account. Now, for all you drummers out there, that's $10. There's 3 levels of plans available: Musician, Musician Plus, and even one for labels. I use Distrokid to put my music online, including this channel's theme song, The Eagle Has Landed, and even got a license through Distrokid for the cover of Moon on the Water that we did several years ago. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/Spectre today and grab yourself 7% off your first year. Links in the description below. Now back to the show.
Benefits of a more expensive guitar. 1. Feels better. Rounded frets, bigger neck, slimmer neck in areas higher up the fretboard. Intonation is perfect and harmonics nice and loud. 2. Better wiring. Shielded wiring that has multiple ground points is better than just drilling a hole through the axe and grounding it to tremolo springs. Less feedback, more even output, and brighter sound. Glenn is not a guitar player. He doesn't know the difference between an Ibanez with a wizard neck and a Les Paul traditional 50s neck. He's a sound engineer. All he cares about is how it sounds. Therefore, he wouldn't know what the benefit to a lot of these expensive guitars is. He doesn't play them professionally. Therefore, he doesn't understand the value.
So by that logic, everybody who's not a professional guitar player is not qualified to review a guitar. Okay, good to know. Thank you for not fucking dividing us into various classes here. I thought we were all guitar players, but apparently some of us are more worthy than others. Now, I already had this on here. This has rounded frets and excellent shielding and a really beautiful feeling neck on the back here. It doesn't feel like a fucking pop bottle or a baseball bat like you would find on a Gibson. I really like the feel of this neck. It's just about right, about perfect in my opinion. Here's the thing about that Mustaine V. If you remember, if you watch the fucking video where I point out, it's got a fucking grounding issue. Where's the superior wiring on the superior priced guitar? Do tell me that. Why don't you let us know, Sean? You're the fucking self-appointed expert. You explain to me why that $2,800 Gibson had a ground shielding issue and why it fucking was buzzing if you weren't touching any metal. Inquiring minds want to know. In fact, I'm sure all of us want to know. Oh, please, dear expert guitar reviewer, enlighten us. Please let us know. Let your wisdom rain down upon us and let us all know how that fucking price is justified when there's that kind of an issue with the wiring in your so-called premium guitar. Of course, we all know that's never going to happen.
My mom has a brand new Epiphone Les Paul Jr. The tailpiece came off when the strings were changed and the nut wasn't even glued. My Greg Bennett Avion fucking smokes it. Epiphone and Gibson are pieces of shit companies designed to take money from idiots.
Okay, now I am going to point out a couple things there. I'm going to take a wild guess. You had a stop tail on your Epiphone, and that's exactly what happens with the stop tail when you take the strings off. That's what's holding this thing in place. This doesn't include. You can take this off, and where you're stringing it, run the strings through it first, and then put it on the guitar. It saves a lot of work. That's actually for speed of string changing and ease of use, that kind of thing. No problems with that. Now, about the nut not being glued, that's an easy fix. Honestly, I recommend having a little bit of, some Elmer's glue all or some wood glue of some type on hand for exactly this sort of thing, because you are going to run into that issue from time to time. Now, you just need a little dab to keep the nut in place, to keep from sliding around. You can just kind of feel for it to be flush, glue it in, way you go. Don't put a lot in. The whole idea of not having a lot of glue on your nut is if you wear it down, it's easier to take out. You can just kind of go in there with a screwdriver and a hammer, just tap it, and it should come right out. Any guitar repair guy is going to tell you the exact same thing. Just a little bit of glue. Now, I just did that whammy bass guitar video there the other day, and I had to re-glue the nut as well because it had come loose. And I found that this stuff wasn't quite strong enough for it because a whammy bass has a lot more tension placed on the nut and it would pop out of place. So I used a little bit of Gorilla Glue, and again, just a tiny little bit just to get the nut to stay, but nothing more, because we're not trying to make it permanent completely. If it needs to come out, it needs to come out easily and cleanly. And that's the best way to do it. So I am going to say, you know what? I think you kind of were wrong in your assessment there. Dig a little deeper before going off the handle about that sort of thing, because there is a method to the madness.
I remember the days when you would get laughed at and publicly shamed on every guitar forum for getting an Epiphone instead of the real thing, bro. Those days are long gone.
Yeah, I completely agree. That Epiphone V is absolutely phenomenal. I love that guitar, and I'm going to be sad to see it go. But it is what it is. I mean, I want to do honest gear reviews for you guys, and in order to make that happen, I have to buy the guitars, so I can't hang on to a lot of these. The Epiphone was great, but this one was better, and I'm not giving this up. No. This is kind of like from my cold, dead hands. This one is definitely not for sale. It's a superior instrument in a lot of ways, especially how it sits on your leg. I absolutely adore this guitar. It's phenomenal. But the Epiphone is no slouch at all either, and there's certainly no shame in going on stage or whatnot for having one of those. Seriously, with CNC manufacturing, it's kind of like, what's the big difference other than the name on the headstock? Now, despite what Sean Kellison said there a couple of comments back, not a whole lot.
Hey Glenn, would you like to review the Dean Select Series V for the next Fearless Gear Reviews episode? They're within the same price point as the Epiphone V.
Yeah, that might be kind of cool. I'll have to dig one up. I'm not sure where the nearest Dean dealer is to Windsor, Ontario. I'll have to do a bit of digging, see if I can make something happen or not. Not sure what the price is. I'll take a look and maybe make it happen somewhere down the road. I mean, I've heard some mixed things about Dean over the last few years. So yeah, maybe they do need a Fearless Gear Review. Maybe somebody needs to take a closer look at what they've got up for grabs and give you guys the honest truth.
Don't know if this is true or not, but I heard someone say that the only reason songs ever had intros was because it gave something for the radio station DJs to talk over before the song started. Since radio is basically dead these days, a lot of bands skip writing an intro, which means shorter songs, and if you're able to listen quickly, to grab the listener's attention.
I don't know if that's true either, but that sounds like a really good idea. I wish people would stop writing really long, boring intros, because, there's no real point anymore in the information age. It's like, don't bore us, get to the chorus. Seriously, nobody cares about the self-indulgent introduction bullshit. Just fucking get to the point already. We're being deluged with information. Fucking entertain us.
Hearing a voice in the beginning, I realized you'd make a great host for a heavy metal radio channel in a GTA game.
Oh, dude, I would love to do that. All right, I'm going to ask you guys right there, who out there wants to hear me do a radio DJ's voice in a Grand Theft Auto game? I mean, I'm a huge fan of Laszlo. He always makes me laugh my ass off in those games. I would absolutely love to do something like that. Who knows? Maybe if we get enough people commenting and whatnot, I can send that over to Rockstar Games. Who knows? Maybe they'd be crazy enough to say yes. Doesn't hurt to ask, I guess. My
Gibson Explorer doesn't go out of tune at all.
Congratulations, Joseph! Well done! You have a magical guitar that's more rare than a real live fucking unicorn. Way to go, dude!
Give us an update in viewers' comments if changing the strings improved the pinch harmonics.
I've still got the guitar. I haven't had a chance to change the strings on it. Instead of fucking around with different strings and whatnot, I just got a better guitar.
What you realize is that you're wasting your money on a guitar that may appear to be great on the surface and inexpensive, but absolutely has no resale value whatsoever and will inevitably lose money.
That is very true. Yes, this guitar was only $269, but for the kid at home who might be working just a part-time job and doesn't have a lot of disposable income, this might be a perfect fit. Did you stop for 3 seconds and consider that not everybody's a fucking guitar collector? Duh! Fuck, there's guitar players of all levels, and we've all got to start out somewhere. This is an outstanding beginner guitar. This would also be great as a backup guitar, just in case, you know, your precious Gibson SG goes out of tune on stage. What are the odds of that happening? Oh yeah, pretty fucking high, actually. So yeah, you can have this on hand. And you could also bring this to a gig, and you don't have to worry about it getting stolen. Did that ever fucking cross your puny mind as well? No? I mean, seriously, you bring a $3,000 guitar to a gig, what happens if somebody walks off with it? You're out $3 fucking grand! Bring this to a gig, somebody walks off with it, oh, well, whatever, I'll go buy another one because it's so fucking cheap. I've said this to enough of you guys on this show. Stop looking down your noses at the rest of us.
Hey Glenn, Ignacio Vagone here from Jensen Speakers. Fantastic episode. Thank you for the hard work behind the making of this video. As speaker manufacturers, we use microphones all day, every day to measure, test, and record the tone of our speakers, and we're fully aware of the importance of mics, their placement, and the imprint they can give to the tone, even before hitting the subsequent elements of the signal chain. And personally, I'm a mic fan nearly as much as I am of the speaker. So once again, thanks. Enjoyed every second of this video.
Ah, yes, that was the Austrian Audio OC16 video I did where I mic'd up the Hesu Demon cab, or it might have been the Rev cab. I can't remember which cab I want, but I wanted to kind of illustrate, you know, the importance of placement and type of speakers and all that kind of stuff. Very, very, very important stuff indeed. The OC16 was an absolutely brilliant microphone, a little better priced than the 818, but it's got less features. That's okay. Here's a cool thing, guys. I did talk to Jensen Speakers, and we're definitely going to do something in the future. We're going to get some of their models on the show as well to see what they've got to offer for like the heavy rock and metal end of the spectrum. As far as I'm concerned, the more speakers, the better. And in my opinion, is the biggest contributor to your tone, especially when it comes to heavy distorted stuff. Like, wow, the speaker is everything. Yeah, haven't really had any Jensens on the show before, other than the ones that came with those cheap Behringer cabs and was not impressed. Hopefully they've got some stuff that'll do the trick as far as metal's concerned. Time will tell. Can't wait to have them on the show.
Spectre Sound Studios. Nice. So we are union brothers. I cannot imagine how hard it was for you to obtain your goal of having your own studio, working knowledge of all music gear, being a guitarist, and an accomplished YouTuber. I know how tired I am and everyone else is who finishes a day's work in the automotive factory. You must have been super dedicated. I could not imagine getting home from work and then having to constantly work on my own craft. Maybe do a video on how you got where you are. Maybe add in how dedicated you have to be to make it in the music YouTube business. I am sure this was not just luck for you. I can only imagine the sleepless nights working in a factory without sleep and still trying to hold your dreams and ambitions, let alone work and family relationships all together at one time. I personally think that you make a fantastic episode for you. You must have the work ethic of a Clydesdale horse. Might be a good kick in the ass for kids to realize that they're getting themselves into while pursuing their dreams, and give some good motivation. Congratulations on your success and making your dreams come true. In solidarity, cheers.
Wow, thank you, Kirk. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it was a very, very, very long trip. I mean, like, I started my studio in '98 and went professional in 2019. So about 21 years there it took from starting out to actually being able to do it for a living. And yeah, I originally wanted to produce bands for a living. Of course, there was no real money in that. And yeah, well, YouTube came along and I managed to get to do that instead. So believe me, I am not complaining. That might be a really cool episode on to do though. If that's something you guys would like to see, I think I could do that. You know, how to think about doing this stuff as a career, and you know, where to focus your efforts, that kind of thing. And it comes back to what I said though. It comes down to really, what do you want to do in life? And if you've got something you really, really, really want to do that. Don't waste your time playing video games unless you're going to be a YouTube gamer or something like that. Do the thing you want to do, and do it a lot. And yeah, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And there's a good story to tell in there, because yeah, I didn't get a lot of holidays, that's for sure. But you know, I made it work and I made it happen. And by some miracle, you guys like what I do, so I really appreciate that. Even the guys who are butthurt guitar experts who say, you know, nobody should take guitar advice off me because I have no clue what I'm doing other than, you know, worked with bands for 2 decades. How dare I criticize the mighty G? Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much to this show's sponsor, Distrokid. Definitely recommend checking them out. They're awesome. I've been working with them for years, and they are your ticket to getting your music out there on multiple platforms and saving you a whole hell of a lot of grief, especially considering the yearly fee is very affordable. Anyway, links for that are in the description below. Keep those comments and questions coming, because if you got something cool to say, I want to put it on the show. I'll look forward to hearing from you. Until then, Hasa Diga Evil Way, my friends.